Fessenden realized electromagnetic radiation could be the key to a breakthrough in wireless communication. Fessenden wanted to use radio waves as a type of highway to carry a voice signal. In order to do so, he would have to create radio waves artificially, because the slow-moving voice signal needed a starting point where it could be linked to a speedier radio wave. That was why Fessenden wished to use spark gap technology to create artificial radio waves.
So literally, a spark will go from one electrode to another. That causes an electromagnetic wave to be emitted. It's invisible, but it can be very powerful.
But there was a problem. Radio waves produced by the spark method faded quickly, so were not able to carry understandable voice signals. It also made a dreadful noise.
Because essentially, spark gaps create artificial static. That's exactly what they are.
Fessenden had held a suspicion that spark gap technology was not the solution to transmitting radio waves. He then considered a new idea, the theory of continuous unbroken waves. Fessenden wondered that if one strong, long continuous radio wave was created, would it be able to carry a sound, such as the human voice, for hundreds, even thousands of kilometers?
A continuous wave is very simple. It contains a constant amplitude. That is, the distances between the tops and the bottoms of the peaks is exactly the same.
Fessenden thought it might be possible to create a continuous radio wave using an alternator, which turns mechanical energy into electrical energy. But to do so, he would need a machine hundreds of times more powerful than any alternator available at the time. In the summer of 1906, General Electric delivered a high-powered alternator. But even this machine wasn't powerful enough, so Fessenden spent months making adjustments to produce an even stronger electrical current. Finally, he was ready to test his theory. A person would speak into the microphone, creating sound waves. The sound waves would then travel on the much stronger, faster-moving radio waves created by the alternator. The alternator would then send this composite or modulated wave to the antenna, which transmitted it to a receiver in some faraway place.
It's much like a hitchhiker getting onto a bus at the transmitter and then getting off the bus at the receiver.
On Christmas Eve in 1906 in Brant Rock, Massachusetts, Fessenden put his theory to the test. Hundreds of kilometers away in the Atlantic Ocean, ships received a message in standard Morse code.
What have you got, lad? Be prepared for something of great interest to follow.
It was a prior warning from Fessenden, who wanted to ensure every sailor was paying attention to what happened next.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining.
It was an astonishing sound. For the first time ever, a voice was transmitted over a great distance without cables or wires. Fessenden had successfully transported sound on a continuous radio wave, a theory called amplitude modulation, or AM radio.
It wasn't until the 1920s, however, that the broadcasting boom began to take off, but it spread like wildfire, faster than probably any other technology has ever spread, including the internet.
Fessenden didn't become rich or famous from his invention, but there was one victory. His Italian competitor, Marconi, had to admit that Fessenden was right and subsequently bought a license to use his patent.